Yo, what up, everyone? IntraVenus here from the P.O.L Gamer View, and I wanted to talk about the 2DS and the 3DS because I just got the 2DS. I had the 3DS for a little bit, and honestly, I guess you could say it's a first impression because I've only had it a couple days, but I like the 2DS better. And some of you might not agree with that, and that's totally understandable, but some people's eyes are affected by the 3D Switch differently, depending on how you deal with motion sickness and all that crap. But so check it out. I just wanted to go over a little bit. Also, in this video, I wanted to highlight my. See this here? I do not have SpongeBob. This is an. Let me just. I think it's called an R4 card. But let me flip this around and see. The R4 Gold. It's got a little micro SD card. And so this actually has like 100 DS games on it, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to use that as part of the testing here so I can show you the difference. But I don't have this one set up to play that. So I just wanted to show you some of those games and compare displays, but really we're going to use this one because this one plays on this version of the OS and this one, whereas I can't play these two games on this one because I have it hacked for the R4. Now, there might be an update, probably is, that I can get where I could play the newer games on it, but I haven't really looked into it. And I like the 2DS so much, I might just think I'm going to sell the 3DS with the R4 card because all those DS games are tight, but really it's just helped me find the few that I really like, and so then I'll just pick them up and collect and actually have the real physical copies. So first off, if you haven't had a 2DS, but you have had a 3DS, or if you haven't had either, let me just tell you, the 3DS, you sleep it by closing it. Puts it into sleep mode, and you can also get all the extra bonuses like the walk by, where people walk by you and you get like little gifts and stuff, kind of similar to the PS Vitas. Um, oh, I forget what that app is called on there, the Nearby or something like that. This one, you can still sleep it. There's just a little switch down here. Push it to the side, and it still does everything that this one does. Now, notice in the bottom of these games, they say playable in 2D. Some areas also playable in 3D. Blah, blah, blah. Playable in 2D and 3D. Playable in 2D and 3D. I haven't gotten into 3DS gaming too much, so I don't know how many games say only playable in 3D or if there are any. But so far, I have 3 good games here. I'm not a big Lego fan, but it's alright. Mainly 2 good games here that both work fine on the 2DS. And one of them that I've been playing right now is Pokemon Omega Ruby, which is a really tight remake of the older Pokemon game, except for instead of just like adding color or something like that, even though the older one was the color game, it completely redid the graphics and gameplay, adding elements and making it more interesting. I like this one way better than the original so far. Anyways, so the 3DS, you close it to sleep it. You also have this slider here to turn up the 3D, which doesn't affect this here. So I'm just going to get out of there for a second. I don't know why it's having trouble focusing. There we go. So you might be able to tell when I turn up the 3D, since the camera doesn't recognize it, it starts to split in half because it directs it to your eyes in a certain way to make it appear 3D. Now that, even when I have the slider on slightly, it kind of bothers my eyes. So that's why I got interested in the 2DS. And notice the screens are closer together on the 2DS. On the 3DS, I feel, first of all, it's a little cramping in the hands. Not too bad. It's a little awkward, square-like. And this flops around a little bit, even though it does lock into different places. And you can lock it flat. The screens are still farther apart, and I feel like I don't know, it separates my mind between the two screens a little more. Whereas this one, it's like a tablet feel. And the screens are closer, and it really feels like the two screens are part of the same thing. Even my wife said that she thinks that this feels more like a portable system, and this more like a little mini laptop, like entertainment device. This one is much more comfortable to hold. It has these triggers on the top. Still has the 3D cameras if you want to take 3D pictures. But these triggers feel really nice. It feels really good in my hands. I mean, the D-pad could be a little higher, but I honestly don't use the D-pad too much. But I have in these games, and it still works. And it has everything that the 3DS has. It's got a very nice screen and stuff like that. You can also find these guys for pretty cheap. I got this one for $25. So, that is basically why I think I am going to keep this one, is because of the way it feels. I think the screens look great. The volume's decent. And, I don't know. Let me just show you real quick. I'm going to put in Lego in each system, and we'll see how they look on each one. I'm going to put the camera down here for a second. I know it's going to be awkward. Alright, so I apologize if my hands are a little shaky. It's because I just had my morning coffee. I still haven't had breakfast. So this is Pirates on the 3DS. And I'm going to go ahead and turn up the slider a little bit. I'll turn it up and down so you can see when the parts of the game are actually 3D. Because like it said on the front, there aren't always 3D elements in these games. So even though you have the 3D on this one, it's not always even put to use. See, on this home screen, it is affecting it. But like I said, it's not really that big to me. So this one has these little tiny shoulder buttons. Also, the stylus goes in on the top. You can see I have it taken out right now. And I liked it better when it was on the side. It's on the side on my 2DS. So here we have Lego Pirates 3D on. Obviously, can't see a difference. There really isn't that much of a difference, actually. And just move around a little bit. Flatten the screen out. Give you an idea what it looks like out front. Okay. Oh, it's probably going to be upset that I did that. I was thinking the power switch was there on the side for a second. I think that was the DS. That was like that. So, there we go. I didn't really want to upset it too much. Alright, so here we have the 2DS game slot on the top here. Take out Pokemon. Put in Pirates. Registers immediately. And notice how the screens, how close they are. And when you're playing DS games, it squares off the top screen, as a lot of you might know, and it lines up perfectly with that bottom screen. Excuse me. So there we have it. Same game. Yeah, my hand's really shaky. I promise I'm gonna get a tripod real soon. I just haven't had the money. So here we are, same game. You can judge for yourself if you can tell between the displays on here, but I really like the displays on this, and I like this is so close. It just feels more like it's part of the same game, same screen. I'm used to, like many people, using smartphones and tablets that are all flat. One of the one of the problems that people have run into, especially if it's for their kids. Come on, focus you. There you go. Now it's focusing. The problem with this, maybe for some kids, is they can't close it, and so the screens will deteriorate quicker. I'd recommend putting on some screen protectors, just like you would on your tablet and stuff like that. And, just be careful with it. If you're an adult, you don't really have to worry about it. I did fall asleep with it in my hand the other night, and I woke up as it fell out of my hand. It fell on the floor. Didn't have any problems, though. So, one thing I can say, sometimes you'll buy these, and this slider will be loose. And the volume will be stuck somewhere. Might sound like there's no volume at all. That's a real easy fix. You just unscrew this back panel and you put this back on the little notch that controls the volume. I did that to this, and people would have considered it broken, but it's freaking perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the 3DS with the 2DS games, or the DS games on it, in a separate video, because this one's longer than I expected. But all in all, I would say that if you don't care about 3D, you should get one of these suckers. Now, I know there's a new 3DS out, and there's the XL and stuff like that, but right now I just wanted to compare these two. And, yeah. Also, highlight that Omega Ruby's a really good game. Stay tuned for more. IntraVenus signing out. I apologize for this blurriness at the end.